Hello and welcome to Byju's Exam Prep IAS, presenting to you the daily quiz for 8th of February 2023. Now let us begin and take a look at the first question for today. Consider the following statements. Number 1, the rate at which RBI extends a short-term loan to the commercial bank is called the repo rate. Number 2, under expansionary monetary policy, RBI reduces repo rate and bank rate to increase liquidity in the banking sector. Which of these statements is or are correct? What is the context? According to this article in the Indian Express today, the Monetary Policy Committee of the Reserve Bank of India has hiked the repo rate or the rate at which RBI lends funds to the commercial banks by 25 basis points, and now it is at 6.5%. And that is why a question on repo rate. So what exactly is this repo rate? When commercial banks like the State Bank of India have short-term requirements for funds, they can place government securities that they hold with the Reserve Bank of India and can borrow money against these securities. The interest rate that the RBI charges here is known as the repo rate, and now it is at 6.5%, right? So statement number 1 here becomes correct. Now coming to statement number 2. This statement here talks about expansionary monetary policy. This policy is also called as the easy monetary policy. This is when the central bank uses its tools to stimulate the economy. That is, it increases the money supply by lowering interest rates and increases the demand for money. This expansionary monetary policy is used to boost economic growth. Under the expansionary monetary policy, the Reserve Bank of India reduces the repo rate and the bank rate. Why? This is done in order to increase liquidity in the banking sector. So statement number 2 is also correct. Therefore, the right answer to our question here would be option C, both 1 and 2. Please remember that the repo rate functions as a monetary tool by helping to regulate the availability of liquidity or funds in the banking system. Since this is the rate of interest that the RBI charges commercial banks when it lends them money, this serves as a key benchmark for the lenders to in turn price the loans when they offer to their borrowers. So now RBI's decision to increase the repo rate is expected to make all the external benchmark linked loans costlier immediately. Moving on to question number 2. Consider the following statements with respect to National Commission for Protection of Child Rights or NCPCR. Number 1, it is a statutory body under the administrative control of Ministry of Women and Child Development. Number 2, it has a chairperson and 6 members, out of which at least 2 are women. Number 3, the member of the commission are appointed by the central government for 5 years. Which of these statements is or are correct? What is the context? According to this article in the Hindu newspaper today, the Delhi Commission for Protection of Child Rights or the DCPCR has written to the National Commission for the Protection of Child Rights on the guidelines it had framed for conducting preliminary assessment of children in conflict with the law. Here, the DCPCR has pointed out inconsistencies in the NCPCR guidelines, and it has said that it will frame its own guidelines. And it is in this context that we've taken up a question on NCPCR. See, according to the NCPCR, a child is defined as a person in the age group of 0 to 18 years of age. Let us know more about NCPCR as we discuss the answer. The NCPCR was set up in 2007 under the Commission for Protection of Child Rights Act of 2005, and this statutory body works under the administrative control of the Ministry of Women and Child Development. So statement number 1 here becomes correct. The mandate of this commission is to ensure that all the laws, all the policies, programs and administrative mechanisms are in consonance with the child rights perspective as enshrined in the Constitution of India and also the UN Convention on Rights of the Child. Now talking about the composition of this commission. This commission has a chairperson and also 6 members, out of which at least 2 of them have to be women. So statement number 2 is also correct. Please note that all of these members of the NCPCR are appointed by the central government for a term of 3 years. So statement number 3 becomes incorrect. Therefore, the right answer to our question here would be option C because only statement 1 and 2 are correct. Moving on to question number 3. Consider the following statements with respect to national innovations on climate resilient agriculture. Number 1, it is a network project of the Indian Council of Agricultural Research. Number 2, its aim is to study the impact of climate change on agriculture. Number 3, the project studies crops, livestock, horticulture as well as fisheries to develop and promote climate resilient technologies in agriculture. How many of these statements is or are correct? Why this question? This article in the PIB today has a reference to NICRA, or the National Innovation on Climate Resilient Agriculture, and hence this question. So what exactly is this NICRA? In order to meet the challenges of sustaining domestic food production in the backdrop of changing climate, the Indian Council of Agricultural Research launched a flagship network project in the year 2011. And this project is named the National Innovation in Climate Resilient Agriculture. The aim of this project is to study the impact of climate change on agriculture, right? That is, what impact climate change has had or is having on crops, on livestock, on horticulture as well as fisheries. Why is this being done? This is being done to develop and promote climate resilient technologies in agriculture which will address vulnerable areas of the country. So the aim is to focus on helping those districts and regions in India which are prone to extreme weather conditions like droughts, flood, frost, heat waves, etc. to cope up with such extreme weather conditions. So this National Innovations in Climate Resilient Agriculture is a unique project which brings all the sectors of agriculture, that is crops, livestock, horticulture as well as fisheries, on one single platform. It is a network project of the Indian Council of Agricultural Research. So statement number 1 is correct. Its aim is to study the impact of climate change on agriculture, right? And as we just discussed, statement number 3 is also correct. Therefore, the right answer to our question here would be option C. All 3 statements are correct. So basically, this project aims to enhance resilience of Indian agriculture to climate change and climate vulnerability through strategic research and technology demonstration. Moving on to question number 4. Consider the following statements with respect to National Commission for Women. Number 1, it is a constitutional body. Number 2, it was set up to review the constitutional and legal safeguards for women. Number 3, it enjoys the powers of a civil court. How many of the given statements is or are incorrect? Why this question? This article in the PIB today says that the National Commission for Women organized a 3-day workshop on gender responsive governance for elected women representatives, that is MLAs, from 7 southern and northeastern states. See, the National Commission for Women has launched a pan-India capacity building program for improving leadership skills of women representatives at all the levels, and this is known as She is a Change Maker project. And this workshop that was recently organized is a part of this She is a Changemaker project. Now let us discuss more about the National Commission for Women. The National Commission for Women was set up in the year 1992 as a statutory body. So statement number 1 here becomes incorrect. It is not a constitutional body but is a statutory body. Coming to statement 2. Statement number 2 is right because it was established to review the constitutional as well as legal safeguards that were available to women, right? So this body looks into complaints and also takes suo motu notice of matters relating to deprivation of women's rights, non-implementation of the laws and non-compliance of the policy decisions guaranteeing the welfare of women in the society. So this body investigates and examines the matters that are related to safeguards provided for women under the Constitution and also other laws. Does it enjoy the powers of a civil court? Yes, it does. So statement number 3 is also correct. Therefore, the right answer here would be option A, one statement only, because the question is asking us for incorrect statements and statement number 1 is incorrect. Now let us take up a previous year question from Prelims paper 2014. Turkey is located between option A, Black Sea and Caspian Sea, option B, Black Sea and Mediterranean Sea, option C, Gulf of Suez and Mediterranean Sea, option D, Gulf of Aqaba and Dead Sea. See, Turkey has been in the news because of the recent earthquake. A powerful earthquake hit Turkey and Syria on the 6th of February. To know what caused this earthquake, how is India helping Turkey and Syria, watch the big news video covering this topic if you haven't watched it already. Now, talking about the location of Turkey. See, Turkey here is located between Black Sea and the Mediterranean Sea. So the right answer here would be option B. Here's a task for you for today. How many countries border Turkey? Let me know in the comment section below. Now let us take up the fact of the day for today, which is primary agricultural credit societies. First of all, why are primary agricultural credit societies in news? The Union Budget of 2023 and 24 has announced rupees 2,516 crore for computerization of 63,000 primary agricultural credit societies over the next 5 years. The intent here is to bring about transparency and accountability in their operations and enable them to diversify their business and undertake more and more activities. So now let us know what these primary agricultural credit societies are and what exactly do they do. See, these PACs are village level cooperative credit societies. And these credit societies act as the last link in a three-tier cooperative credit structure. Let us discuss this in a little detail. At the top of this credit structure is the state cooperative banks at the state level. Next comes the district central cooperative banks. Then there are PACs which work with DCCBs. So how this credit structure works is that the credit from the state cooperative banks is transferred to the district central cooperative banks which work at the district level, and the DCCBs work with the primary agricultural credit societies that deal directly with the farmers. Since these primary agricultural credit societies are cooperative bodies, individual farmers are members of the PACs and the office bearers are elected from within them. Also remember that one village can have multiple PACs. Now these PACs are involved in short-term lending or what is known as crop loans. See, this point here highlights the importance of the primary agricultural credit societies. These PACs are very important because they provide credit with minimal paperwork within a short period of time, which is very essential for a farmer. With scheduled commercial banks, farmers will have to go through tedious paperwork and also red tape, and that is where these PACs are very important for the farmers. Now, by announcing the computerization of these primary agricultural credit societies, the government aims to bring about transparency and accountability in these PACs and enable them to diversify their business and also undertake more and more activities for the benefit of the farmers. That is all for today. Thank you for being with us. If you like this video, do hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Keep watching and keep learning.